Hello everyone, we are the third in the series of superfluous Kaddishes. And today I'd like to present the second point of view about Kaddish after Aleinu, after presenting in our former podcast 2 points of view. Point of view number 1, it's obligatory because we say psukim. And point of view number 2 saying it's not obligatory, it's a custom in order to give mourners who can't lead davening a way to honor their parents during their year of Avelus or on a yortzeit. Well, there's a third point of view, and that is there is no Kaddish after Aleinu ever. And this does not come down party lines, namely it's not just the Sfardim, it is also Ashkenazim. The Machzor Vitri, coming out of the base medrash of Rashi, says, and I quote, V'yoshvin bimkoman v'omrim men kelokeinu Hashem yivarech et amo v'shalom v'omed anar lomar Kaddish after en kelokeinu. Someone gets up to say Kaddish to Rabbanan. V'yomru aleinu l'shabach al kei nekava lecha v'niftarim lebatehem l'shalom. You say Aleinu and you go home. He does not say to say Kaddish after Aleinu. The Kolbo says exactly the words of the Machzor Vitri. Omrim aleinu l'shabach v'yotzim mibet hakneset. You say Aleinu, you go out of shul. V'hochim lebatehem b'shalom. And indeed he's not alone. The Orchos Chaim, also Ashkenazi, says that after davening you say Aleinu l'shabeach, and he doesn't say a word about Kaddish, and he even adds, in the places that say En Kelokeinu, unlike the Ashkenazic minhag brought in the Ramah, not to say it on a weekday, only on Shabbos and Yatif, but on places or days you do say En Kelokeinu, you do say Kaddish D'Rabbanan at the end of it, and after the Kaddish you say Aleinu. Ultimately, the way the Torah codifies the halacha. The Ramah, in his Darkei Moshe's Perush on the Torah, says mashma, very clear, the ein lomar achar aleinu Kaddish. And he's not alone. The Prisha also had that exact diuk in the Torah. V'lo hiskira charav Kaddish. And afterwards, when he talks about a minhag of Sfarad, to say this mizmor, that mizmor, he says, V'achar kach aleinu l'shabeach, v'lo katav shegam achar aleinu omer Kaddish. The opinion of the Gra, I must admit, is a little amorphic. On the one hand, the Gra in Maaseh Rav, Siman Nun Gimel, says that you say in the morning the Kaddish after Aleinu plus Shir Shel Yom. So he doesn't say specifically after Aleinu, but it's after Shir Shel Yom plus Aleinu. However, in a different place, when he talks about Ma'ariv, he says that ultimately, V'chein achar Aleinu ein omrim psukim u'mizmorim. After Aleinu, you don't add anything, and he doesn't mention Kaddish after Aleinu at Ma'ariv. So you can definitely infer from his words that maybe there's a chiyuv to say Aleinu after Shir Shel Yom, but not after Aleinu. But what happened to the ironclad rule that the Levush said and others said that you have to say Kaddish after you quote psukim, and in Aleinu we quote psukim? So there's two basic answers to that question. The Orchos Chaim says in the name of the Maharam, she'en omrim Kaddish al psukim min haTorah she'enam tzrichim chizuk. When you quote psukim from the Nach, Nevi'im and Ketuvim, maybe you need to say Kaddish. But not, I repeat, not from the Torah, because the Torah is strong in and of itself. It doesn't need the Kaddish to strengthen it. But there's a second answer. And in order to understand the second answer, let's read a responsum of the Rambam. The Rambam says, Lo yomar Kaddish b'shum panim, el b'mkomot ha'yidurim shebatfilah kechovah, o acharei kriyat davar midivrei Torah. Ratzah lomar dinei ha'halacha, o bi'ur, o afilu drash, pasuk echad. Ye'amer charav Kaddish D'Rabbanan. The Rambam says in a very nice way, you don't say Kaddishes in davening unless A, it's part of the requisite mandatory parts of davening where they actually said to say Kaddish, and B, if you're teaching a shir, explains a Teimani posek named the Maharitz in his shut called Pu'ulat Tzadik. The Maharitz is actually someone less known to the Ashkenazi world, Yichya ben Yosef Tzalach, circa 1713 to 1805. he basically explains that the minhag is not to say Kaddish after Aleinu. Delo arminan Kaddish rak achar limud psukim. O agada u'mishnah. Aval hachab Aleinu לשבח. אף אגב דאיתקר בפסוקים, לא לשם לימוד וקריאה בו תוך הנוסח, רק לשם שבח ותחינה, ולא חשיבי לימוד לומר אחריהם קדיש. In a very nice way he says, you may be quoting psukim, but it's part of the prayer service. You're not quoting psukim to teach the Jewish people Torah. When you teach them Torah, you give a shir between Mincha and Ma'ariv, say Kaddish D'Rabbanan. But if you're doing it within the prayer service, then you're not saying those psukim in order to teach Torah. You're saying those psukim as part of the prayer service. If I can give another example, there is no prohibition to take out a chumash and to read the 13 attributes of mercy from Parshat Kitiso. That's learning Torah. But if you say it during davening in the slichos, then you're saying it as a prayer service, which requires a minyan in order for you to say it. Same thing here, but the opposite. We're not saying those psukim to teach Torah. We're saying it as part of davening, and therefore it does not require a Kaddish afterwards. Psukim require Kaddish if you're saying it as a teaching of Torah, not if you're saying it as part of davening. So, to sum up, the Kaddish after Aleinu is very flimsy. On the one hand, there's a whole slew of people, from the Machzor Vitri through the Torah, who say no reason to say it. And we explain why the psukim are not an impetus to do so. On the other hand, yesterday we explained that maybe it was just there for those that cannot lead services, and therefore they need to say it during the year of Avelus, or they say it on the Yortzeit. From this perspective, I'm not so sure that if there's no one in shul that has a Yortzeit as within the year of mourning, that you have to say the Kaddish after Aleinu. But if you're an Ashkenazi, it seems like the Ramah is very clear-cut on this, and maybe in an Ashkenazic shul, it is mandatory. I'll just add that in Israel, since we are a kibbutz galuyot, a conglomeration of many exiles, I don't believe you should be machmir on this point. If you're in a shul that's Nusach Ashkenaz all the way in Chutz La'aretz, or even in Israel, and that's the people that congregate there, then maybe indeed that Kaddish should always be said. But if not, then I don't believe it's mandatory. A, because many say you don't have to say it at all, and B, even those that say you do, said it's only there for those that have a Yortzeit, for those that are in the year of mourning, but if you don't have one of the two in shul, there's no reason to say it.